Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Snowflake here, and welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Behind the Card, where today we will be talking about one of the most dangerous Archfiend cards of all time. That's right, it's Archfiend Marmot of Nefariousness. The card designers had a fun time with this one, and so did the name writers, I'm sure. Yeah, let's get into Archfiend Marmot of Nefariousness. It's a Earth attribute, level 2 beast type normal monster with 400 attack and 600 defense. And its card text says, an air marmot that has a nefarious horn and wings. It attacks by throwing acorns. I know a certain Ice Age character that would love to be attacked by this monster. Definitely a fun name, and you gotta love the card art. It's basically a beaver with a horn, massive horn, bat-like wings, nibbling on a yellow and green acorn. What's not to love? The Japanese version of the card translates to Demon Beaver, which is also a pretty accurate name. In the Game Boy Color game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories, its card text says, a dark flying marmot. Fair enough. It took a lot of the fun away from it, but not wrong. In the Game Boy Advance game, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Eternal Duelist Soul, the card text says, a horned beaver that dive bombs enemies with acorns. Now that's something I'd like to see. That's a good use of your wings right there. In the Game Boy Advance game, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards, its card text says, a ferocious marmot that has the horn and wings of a fiend. It attacks by hurling acorns. Hurling as opposed to throwing them. And this time it's ferocious. Moving on to card tips. Here are a list of cards that can be used to search for Archfiend Marmot of Nefariousness. They include Rescue Hedgehog, Rescue Rabbit, Primite Lordly Load, Rescue Cat, Unexpected Die, Primite Roar, Painful Decision, Treasure Panda, Archfiend Heiress, since it is an Archfiend card, Matador Archfiend, Archfiend Labyrinth, Pandemonium, Skilled Red Magician, Draconet, Emissary of the Afterlife, Cosmo Brain, Primite Howl, Princess Cologne, Supernatural Danger Zone, Soul Unseal, also the Earth Channeler, Melfi Puppy, Key Mouse, Baby Raccoon Ponpoco, Baby Raccoon Tantan, Tri Brigade Airborne Assault, Tri Brigade Shirei the Ominous Omen, Super Nimble Mega Hamster, Melfi Catty, Armored White Bear, Kitty Tail Mystical Beast of the Forest, Desmanian Devil, Ninjutsu Art of Transformation, also the Earth Charmer Immovable, Giant Rat, Boxer, Frontline Observer, League of Uniform Nomenclature, Human Wave Tactics, Gigantic Sprite, Small Scuffle, Mimiclay, Packet Link, Serpentine Princess, Battle Royal Mode Joining, Vampire Dragon, Rescue Ferret, Umbra Mirage the Elemental Lord, Sangan, Witch of the Black Forest, and Last Will. Moving on to card appearances. Just for one appearance for Archfiend Marmot of Nefariousness in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, and it actually came in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX in episode 35. This card, similar to Petite Dragon in the last episode, was one of the weak cards that Chaz rescued from the recheck well, and its spirit also appears after the duel in Chaz's room when the Ojamas are annoying Chaz, and all the other monster spirits are just chilling.
Well, it can't hurt. Fine. Whoever wants to can come with me. But there's one condition.
Let me guess. Lots of hugs?
Hey!
Hugs coming up, Jazz!
Finally! I don't want anchovies, and I don't want any friends, or any roommates, or pets, or whatever it is you guys are.
In that case, just call us family!
It also appears in some video games, such as Game Boy Color game Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories, where Seeker uses this card in his deck. In the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force series from 1 to 3, Colin also uses this card. It's worth noting that Colin uses a deck with those familiar possessed cards, and we'll get on to why that's significant for Archfiend Marmot of Nefariousness in a little bit. In the Nintendo DS game Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2007, this card is used by both Ojama Yellow and Blast Asmodia. Guess Ojama Yellow made a friend out of him in the Reject Well. Moving on to some card trivia. As I alluded to before, and similar to how Petite Dragon was Wind's familiar, a wind attribute, it is actually Archfiend Marmot of Nefariousness who is the familiar of Ursa the Earth Charmer, Avalanche Ursa, and all of the Ursa series, basically. And you can see Archfiend Marmot of Nefariousness appear in both artworks. You can also see Archfiend Marmot of Nefariousness. I'm going to keep saying the name until it wears out its welcome. But you can also see it in the background of Return from the Different Dimension, circled there for you. It also has a couple of counterparts, such as a slightly stronger alternative, Obese Marmot of Nefariousness, which will apparently sink its teeth into anything, but clearly prefers acorns still. But there's also an upgraded effect monster version known as Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness, which I think is probably its upgraded form. It's got an interesting effect too, in that you can destroy one monster you control to bring it back from the graveyard, as if it's eating them in order to come back. In some of the video games, it's known actually as Air Marmot of Nefariousness because it has wings. It's still counted as an Archfiend monster though because of its Japanese name. And that is it for Archfiend Marmot of Nefariousness. Again, a great name. I'd say it 100 times a day if I had a good reason to, I suppose. Yeah, cute little monster, sort of. An interesting concept for a card, and it's an actual Archfiend, so if you guys have an Archfiend deck, then, and you're not putting this card in for the memes, then I don't know what you're doing with your life, but you definitely need to get that card in your deck. Or even just to say Demon Beaver, that's definitely not a bad name either. And if Chaz can rescue it from the Reject Well, then you can put him in your deck too. Chaz didn't play him, but we'll ignore that little detail. But anyway, that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you on a future one. But for now, have a good day, and goodbye.